Good morning, this is Sarah, your healthy carnivore in the UK. This is day 74. I would like to say this is not going to be a super happy video. There's not going to be trumpets and hats and things in this one. This is a more sobering one. So if you are here for a giggle, maybe come back tomorrow or maybe the next day. So I'll see you tomorrow. The next thing to mention is yesterday I didn't do a video because I had a training course, but I did wake up to the very sad news that we'd lost our carnivore brother, Jeff de Prosperous. I would like to send love, hugs, prayers, blessings to his family at this difficult time, and we're going to miss you. We're going to miss you, brother. You were amazing, and we're in this space. There's going to be a void in our community now that you're no longer here. If anyone wants to send any money to the family at this difficult time, there is a GoFundMe set up for him, and you'll find the links to that on the Kerry channel at Homestead How. Okay, so that's that bit done. Rest in peace, Jeff. I'm now going to move on to a different thing, which is that I want to talk about, but it's equally not buzzy, happy. More just interesting. Though I will warn you, this is my disclaimer at this point. I will be talking about the great government experiment in 2021. So if that sort of conversation makes you feel uncomfortable or cross or angry or anything, maybe you don't want to get to the next bit, because I am going to talk about it in quite a candid way. I'm going to have to use special coded language because you aren't allowed to talk about, you're not allowed to speculate on the great government experiment of 2021. People don't like it, they get very cross. But the person I'm going to talk about does, she is blaming what has gone wrong with her on that particular thing. And she knows I'm going to do a video about her. So I am completely allowed to do this, and I'm completely allowed to say what I feel. And the last time I checked, having an opinion in the UK was still legal, and so I'm going to take advantage of that. But I still need to use code language so this video doesn't get shut down. I think you probably know how this is going, so if this isn't comfortable for you, this is your exit point right now. Eat your meat, drink the water. See you one day 75. Okay. I would like to say, yesterday I had a training course and I was sat next to a lady who, I don't know her name, so I can't blurt that out because I don't even know her name, but she was a 40-year-old woman, just turned 40, who was just in a terrible state yesterday. I'm sat there, with 50 as my nearest birthday coming up, just bouncing around and completely agile with bright wide open eyes and happy, irritatingly happy, some might say, sat next to a 40-year-old who is in a real state. She was suffering consequences of a serious pneumonia that nearly killed her. She's now on asthma medication. And now she's on blood pressure medication and has now been also put on statins. And I'm sitting there thinking, don't say anything. Concentrate. This was a lunch break. We had a 45-minute lunch break. She was eating, I wasn't, because I just wasn't hungry. That also turned the heating up in the room to 24. Some women just need the heat turned up to 24. Maybe their thyroids don't work properly. Just speculating. Not being inflammatory, but perhaps their thyroids don't work properly. Anyway, let's continue. And I was chatting to her and I said, and I thought, I wonder if I'm going to be able to get her to admit that she took the great government experimental injection of 2021, but I'm not going to push it, and I'm certainly not going to just blurt it out because people get very, very angry and then not talk to you for the rest of your life. So I said, well, I don't trust drug companies. Just be careful of the side effects on those statins. And she said, yeah, I think the statin has caused pain in my arm because I've now got my arm. My arm doesn't move at all. Now, whether the statins cause that or whether she's now got an arm that doesn't move for some other reason, it's not easy to prove, is it? But we can all speculate. So I'm sitting there thinking, wow, you can't breathe, you can't get on the floor, you can't move your arm, you're on blood pressure meds, statin meds, you nearly died from pneumonia, and you're 40. I'm thinking there's a good chance she's probably taken something that probably wasn't wise. But I'm not going to say it. I'm not going to be the one to say it. She has to say it herself. I probably already lost 90% of the audience already now. But if you're still listening, I just wanted to record this. It does lead into carnivore, by the way. So in case you're thinking, how does this relate to carnivore? It does, because I managed to talk her into that. Okay. So before we get too bored and go, we did get onto that. So I said, well, I don't trust them so much. I won't even take the arm juice, the things that go into the arms. I use the correct word for that, but I don't use it here because you're not allowed to. So she said, and then once she knew that I was against that, she was then able to open out, and she did. And we talked for ages about how she completely blamed the arm juice for her pneumonia. She said it happened straight after. She said the arm juice, the government experimental of 2021 put her straight in hospital with pneumonia. And now she's left with terrible asthma. She took this in 2021. It's now 2024, and she can't get off the floor without horrific breathlessness. Wow. Anyway, let's not. But then she did say to me, she can't talk about it to people because they won't listen. And as soon as she heard that I was, against drug companies and that particular experiment, she was able to talk to me about it, because she can't talk about it with the people that support taking it, because they just get angry with her and don't talk to her anymore. So I think she was really glad that there was someone there that she could talk to. I always thought that in 2021 I would be that person that people could approach and talk to about that situation. But it would take a while before that would happen, and it is now happening, and I've had lots of people come up to me and tell me they regret it. If you are still watching it and you did take it and you don't regret it, then that's you're an adult. This is my opinion. I feel like it made her sick, and she felt like it made her sick. And when she talked to the doctor, he said it definitely wasn't that. He said, we're putting you down as long. COVID. He said, I haven't got that. It happened straight after the experimental thing. And he dismissed it completely, which is, I'm wondering if these doctors are secretly suspicious underneath, but they're just so terrified to come out and say it because they're just worried about their pensions. They're still looking for their yacht, aren't they? The retirement package. Maybe they're just scared of losing their house, so they're just constantly defending the arm juice. Anyway, so I said to her, I'm part of a, I said, please don't hate me for this. I said, but because we don't work together in the same school, I'm not going to get sacked for saying this. I'm just going to come out and say it. Have you heard of the carnivore diet? And she said, yes. She said, no. It's amazing. It is amazing. I also spoke to a guy, the Tesco delivery man later, and he hadn't heard of it either. So we've got more work to do, guys. We've got a lot of work to do, because there are still a huge percentage of people that have literally never even heard of it. Okay. He said, I've heard of vegan. I think we've all heard of that. That's irrelevant. That vegan diet is irrelevant to this conversation. Anyway, I explained to her about Dr. Ken Berry and all the other doctors. I tried to go in with the Ken Berry thing because I said to her, he's not just some random guy on YouTube who why would you listen to some random guy on YouTube? I said he was a physician, he was a family physician doctor, like a GP for 20 years or so, and he ended up giving up his practice because he realized that he was harming people and not by not giving up the right advice. And so now he's on YouTube with over 3 million subscribers, helping people. And I've heard him get people off your blood pressure medications, your statins, your this and that and the other. And I think you'll probably find it might help you with your asthma. Now, I don't know if it will. It's possible that the damage that she's got is permanent damage and there's nothing she can do to him. And she's going to be suffering with this now, possibly for the rest of her life. But if we can get her off the statins, and if we can get her off the blood pressure meds and get her blood pressure down and her weight down. She was a curvy lady. She was a curvy lady. I know I am too. I'm counting myself in the curvy lady bracket. Because I'm not mentioning her name or anything, you know, safe to say she is a little bit bigger than me. And in a mess, and 40 years old, to be in that much of a mess. Whew. So I just wanted to talk about that. I'm hoping and praying. I don't know her name. It's probably best if I don't know her name, because then I can't accidentally come out and say it online, because it's not fair. She deserves her. She deserves to remain anonymous. So that was interesting. So last night, so I've moved on from that now. That's that conversation done. I'm just saying, I'm just hoping that I've managed to get this person into the care of the community. I'm hoping she looks up Dr. Ken Berry. She may not straight away, because but it's a seed, isn't it? All we can do is plant a seed in these people's minds and hope that at some point they go, that girl was talking about that carnivore diet. Do you know what? I've got nothing to lose but just looking it up and just looking at that Ken Berry foot just for a minute. And you never know, we might have saved her life. Maybe one day she knows what school I go to. Maybe one day she'll look me up and say, thank you so much, you have saved my life. But that's ambitious, right? Yeah, last night I was thinking of that. So that's that topic done. That's end of that topic. Sorry, it was controversial. I think this video will be highly shadow banned. I don't think it's going to be recommended to any normies. So yesterday I was thinking about that amazing do you know what? You know Dante from Foreign Freedom? There's one particular line that he comes out in his videos that I find really, really powerful. It appears halfway through his 125 days on lion diet. And I think you already know what I'm going to say here, but if you don't, he says, it's amazing what's happening to me. And last night, I actually said that to my son. It popped out my mouth. It wasn't deliberate. Now, this isn't as a result of me losing a whole load of weight, but it's just my brain. I'm referring to my neck up here, my neck up. I'm going to talk about this bit in tomorrow's video as well, by the way, guys, because most people won't have got this far into the video. I know that. I think probably 90% of people that watch this, probably 95% won't have got this far. Okay, so this part of the video will be repeated in tomorrow's day 75 video, and it will probably be entitled Day 75 Carnivore Diet. I can't believe what's happening to me. It's amazing what's happening to me. Okay, so if you don't want to hear me repeat this, you may as well just sign out now. But if you enjoy the waffling and enjoy the chatting and you enjoy taking time with me each day, then we might as well carry on listening, and I'll try and talk a bit longer to try and get my watch hours up to the magic 4,000 that they want me to get. Or is it 3,000? One of them. Oh, and by the way, before I talk about what I said last night, my goal is to get this channel to 5,000 subscribers next October. Yes. I told both my sons and my husband, and they said impossible. And I'm thinking, now that I'm serious and the weight's going to come down now, it's not impossible. So I know it took me a whole year to get 1,000, but I think I can get 4,000 in the next year, because now I'm successful and I'm not that stupid, dithering, imperfect carnivore anymore. Done. Day 74. Last night I was talking to my son. He wasn't that listening in great interest, because this has been going on so long that they take most of the things I say with a pinch of salt, because inside their minds, and I know they're thinking it, and they're allowed to think it. We've heard this before. She'll be quit next week. But it's not happening. But my brain is just so... I like the word resolved. I asked you guys if you could come up with a word yesterday, because I was using the word determined or resigned, and then a couple of you did mention the word resolved. Like that. I like that. I'm also going to put the word resolved into a thesaurus and see if they come up with other words similar to resolved. But yeah. But I said to my son, I know this is boring for you, but listen just for a minute. I am so doing this. And I'm eating twice a day, and I'm doing it the way the carnivore veterans say. And I've got now keto breath, and I think I'm now fat adapted, and I think I'm now losing weight, and I'm stronger now than I was on day one. And I literally said these words. I didn't plan to say them, and hadn't just been watching Dante, but I went, it's amazing what's happening to me. And I went, oh, I said it. Day 73, I said that. I've been waiting to say those words. And you know how he does a video of himself doing loads of press-ups on the floor? If you haven't seen it, his 125 days of lion diet. Halfway through the video, about between 14, 17, 20 minutes, somewhere along there, he does this thing where he's doing loads of press-ups on the floor, and then he gets his face close into the camera and says, it's amazing what's happening to me. It's been my dream to get to a point in this journey where that just comes out of my mouth, and not forced, not planning to say it, or not getting to a certain number of days and saying it. It just pops out by accident. And last night, I said to my eldest son, I said, it's amazing what's happening to me. And I thought, oh, I just said it. I now feel like I'm in that place where Dante was. Okay, I don't have the weight loss that he had by that point, because I'm female and other reasons and other hormonal reasons. But from the neck up, it's amazing what's happening to me. I can't believe it. I literally can't believe it. I'm on day 74 of not one single sweet taste in my mouth. I'm on day 74 of avoiding seed oil, and I only had it one day when someone cooked for me. Not going to take that away from me, I'm afraid. That was somebody else cooking for me, but it will never happen again. You know, I'm on day 70 of no dairy. What else is there? You know, I'm on day 70 of eating to my appetite, stopping when full, not snacking. I'm on day 70 of day 74 of not pandering to other people. Not pandering to other people's social expectations of when I should eat, what I should do, when and why and how I should eat. I'm also completely and utterly following the original veterans that said to me, eat when hungry, stop when full, drink when thirsty, stop when not thirsty, and just eat to Thanksgiving full, don't snack, avoid any keto treats, avoid anything with any sweetener in it at all, and just be carnivore and get on with it. And at the moment, this is going to sound crazy, because I know last year I had a bit of a stretch where I was doing reasonably well, but then that was in the summer holiday and it stopped when I got back to work. This time it hasn't stopped because I've changed my job. I've changed my job. So to stop that happening, you know, I know I can do the 6 weeks summer holiday, but can I continue? Turns out, yes. I'm 26 days away from my 100-day carniversary. I'm very excited to do that. And whoever interviews me that week, I'm going to be, I'm going to be on Christy Meeting Wellness. The last time we did a video chat, it was really good. But there was a lot of emphasis on why my journey was a bit bumpy and all the rest of it. This time I'm going to be able to say 100 days stretch, the best, strongest, cleanest, most resolved 100 days in that 10-year space. And that's good, because when I get to December, it will be 10 years since I first found it. And I'll be able to say, you know, at the end of December, I'll be able to say things like, I've done 150 days of absolutely my cleanest, most resolved, sweetener sugar-free, seed oil-free, dairy-free, most championic carnivore stretch, which is what I wanted to do, because I want to be able to say that I've been in the space 10 years, but also that I'm now very successful. It would be amazing. I'm just waffling now, aren't I? A lot of the things I'm talking about now, I'm going to probably repeat some of them tomorrow, but maybe in a different way. I obviously want this skin tag off by my 150 days, because I want to be able to say, okay, I've messed around. I've been in this space 10 years. I spent 9.5 years of it messing around. But you know what? I've now got all these health benefits to add to the original ones. I'm ultra, ultra, ultra strict. Have absolutely no intention of being bumpy and improper and imperfect. Ever again. Yeah. That'd be a nice way to end the 10 years. Just say, yep, had some lessons to learn. I had some mistakes to make. I had some dithering to do. Maybe it just wasn't the right time for me. You know, it is, you know, Mitch from Old Guy Carnivore does say, you know, the older you get, the easier it is to commit. I am obviously 10 years older than when I first found this. And, you know, it's my time. It is my time. And I'm very excited. And I'm not even slightly daunted and not even slightly frightened. Did I stutter? No, I didn't. Day 74. Done. I do think it's a shame that I'm going to say one last thing. It's a shame that you can't... If you've ever seen the film Dangerous Minds with Michelle Pfeiffer in it, a 90s film, she's in a school and she's working with some disadvantaged kids, and she says to them, from this moment on, you're going to get an A, but you've got to keep it, right? How much would I love to have a magic wand on me now and say, right, okay, we're going to put you down to the size you want to be, and now you've got to maintain it. I would maintain the hell out of it. There would be no risking it. There would be no ifs and buts and maybes. I would maintain the hell out of that shit for the rest of my life. But I know there is no magic wand. I'm going to have to get there the hard way, the waiting way. But I'm eating in a way that's conducive to maintaining that kind of physique. So it's a shame I can't get an A now. Give her an A. Just give her an A now and tell her she's got to keep it. Yeah. Anyway, I've done well over 20 minutes now. I wasn't going to talk about this for long. It's unlikely that any of you got to this end bit because there was a depressing start and then there was a controversial middle and now a more sort of lively ending that most of you won't have seen. That's fine by me. Tomorrow, though, I'm going to reiterate a bit more on the it's amazing what's happening to me topic. So that's what tomorrow's video will be. And I will try and make a really long video about that on day 75. We've got some sun today. It's come through the window. Ooh, sunshine. Eat your meat, drink the water. Have an incredible day if you can. Once again, sending love to the Jeff the Prosperous family. He'd want us to be grounding, getting our sun and eating our meat and thriving. And we're going to miss you, man. So, signing out now, and thank you so much for watching. Take care, guys. Bye.